Hi, this is Phil. I'd like to just introduce myself. I've got a warehouse and I'm currently trying to restore a Nauticus 27-foot cruiser boat. It was made roughly around 1972 and to be honest it's been probably titivated up over the years but nothing major, and I decided to pull it out because it looked tired. It's the first time I've ever done something like this. I have taken a few pictures up to this stage because I never dreamt that possibly I would be able to create a blog or a video or whatever you do on YouTube. But my best friend, who has all this sort of equipment, has decided that it might be a good idea if I put it into film. So we're here now. So without further ado, I'll show you what I'm up to. Come with me. So, here we go. One Nauticus 27-foot. As you can see, I've already started it. I've stripped the hull. This has had 3 coats, but I'll go into all that. It might be a good opportunity for you now to perhaps have a look at all the pictures and all the stages that I've done to get to this point, because at the moment I'm currently working in the cockpit, but there's quite a few things that you perhaps want to see before you jump into the live stuff, so maybe that's a good opportunity for you to go and have a look now.
Yes.
Well, I should really be wearing my mask. So here we are. We're in the cockpit. The last couple of days I've been stripping it all out as best I can. All the wiring, I've managed to chop most of it from this area here. I've still got to do a bit underneath, but I'm not bothered about that for now. I just want to get everything clear so then I can see the wood for the trees, because there's so many layers that people have put on over the years. I've tried to get back to something substantial because it was all rickety, you know, everything was falling about and whatnot, and it just didn't look right to me. And I've invested in quite a bit in some decent quality marine ply and things. So, of course, there's this brute. Now this is a Perkins 4108 diesel engine. From what I can gather, these are bulletproof. And in all fairness, when it was on the water, the boat, the 2 times I used it, it ran exceptionally well. It was pushing out £50 per square inch. So I've got no reasons to think that the engine is not a good one. I don't know any of its history. It's just one of these things. Do I decide to pull it out, clean it all up and put it back in, or do I take it out and put a smaller engine in? I'm not so sure at this stage what I'm going to do about it. One of the weaknesses I've found with it, and this is one of the other reasons why I pulled this boat out, was it's got an Enfield Z drive at the back, which from all accounts has been renovated or redone, and the couplings are the weak link. You can't buy these couplings apparently, but I have done some research on the internet, which is a wonderful tool, and I seem to have found these new ones made of a composite. So I'm hoping that that's possibly what will fix this problem. It seems that it's been a problem for the previous owner, because I found quite a few of these couplings knocked around and they seem to be all bent. So whether that's the engine isn't lining up properly with the drive shaft coming from the Enfield Z drive, I don't know. But it's something that it's not really my field. I'm not very clued up when it comes to marine stuff. This is the first attempt for me doing this type of thing, and it's one of those suck it and see types of jobs. So that's the stage where we're at with this engine. At some point it will be being pulled out because I want to get underneath it. There's obviously got an oil leak because there's quite a bit of oil in the bottom of the boat, and it's very difficult to get to it. So we'll leave that stage for now, and as you can see, I'm currently cleaning all the glue off this fiberglass section of the boat, ready to do whatever I'm going to do with it. I don't know whether to carpet it or vinyl it or do something with it to make it look more presentable. I'll show you this bit here actually. This used to be, this section, there was a fridge, and it was obviously done by gas and electric. I've pulled out all the copper piping out. I don't know whether you can see over there, that's the shell of it, and somewhere down there is the old fridge. I will be putting a new fridge in, but I'm not so sure whether I'm going to put it inside the cabin or back there, because I do quite like the idea of having more space in the cockpit for socialising and barbecuing and things like that, because at the end of the day, if you're in a nice place, the last thing you want to be is inside the cabin. You want to be outside the cabin. So that's my thoughts. So I'll just think about what I'm going to do with it here, but in the meantime I've got quite a bit of work to do. As you can see, I've got to get rid of all this. Sorry to interrupt, John. John, by the way, is my cameraman. Brilliant guy, my best friend. He's just taking a video of all the stuff that's yet to be done, and as you can see, it's a nightmare of a place in there, but eventually it'll get done. Sorry to interrupt. Bye. Okay, so because we're stripping and we're painting the whole of the boat, I have come across these little, I'm using a nail just to show them, I don't know whether it shows it on the camera, but there's little hairline fractures around here, and these are even deeper. So what I've done, and I'm going to show you over on that side, is what I'm doing about it. So basically what I'm using is this oscillator, and in order to try and prevent it from happening again, I'm basically going to just route out these cracks in a sort of a V shape in order to get the fiberglass in there, and then obviously hopefully stop it from cracking any further. So I'm just going to use this this oscillator now and gouge them out. Obviously it's nasty stuff, it's fiberglass, so always use protection. Right, come on, serious Phil.
3, 2, 1.
So I've gouged out, as you can see, these cracks on this side, and because it's fiberglass you can see all the way through, so there's quite a few that I've gouged out all the way along. There must have been sort of a minor impact somewhere along the line, because there was quite a few on this side. Nothing major because the wood is in really good condition. So you can just see I've scored into them all the way along, and as on that side you can see that there was a sort of a fracture across that section there. Doesn't go overly deep, but I've gouged out on a really good V here, and there was some just little sticks coming up here that you could see that it had just fractured along there. Everything along here is great. So I've basically filled as much as I could. I've obviously gone and missed one there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sand these down, and then I'm going to have a look at it and then decide, see whether it needs some marine filler over the top. I would imagine it will, because it looks like some of them are sunk overnight. So I will do what I showed you over there, which is put some filler over the top, sand that down, and then it should be good for paint. So that's what I'm going to get on with. All masked up. Okay, so I've sanded down most of the fiberglass, and I've now just got a little bit of residue, and you can see basically where I gouged out, and the fiberglass that I've put on is obviously been able to sink into the V grooves and the cracks, etc. And I'm just left with a gnarly edge, which I'm going to manually sand, because I don't want to use my my sander, which has been absolutely brilliant for this job, on the edge, because I might just cut too much off it. So I'm going to manually do it, and it seems to have more success by doing it this way. It takes a bit more time, obviously, but the end results are good, because you can follow the line of the or the curvature of the boat quite nicely. So I'm just scraping off and sanding off a bit of the fiberglass off the wood. So as you can see here, just create the edge around that bit there. So you've got a nice smooth rounded section there. I've noticed that there are a few pits there, which is why I said originally that I will use some marine filler just to skim over and get rid of it. There was that fracture I was talking about that happens to be on both those sides. You can see that that fiberglass has nicely filled that in. There is the odd pit or air pocket on the top, but there again that filler will be able to get rid of that. That's pretty smooth, that. Obviously my sander can't get to that bit, so that's something I'll do manually. There we go. Shape that corner. Just get into there a bit better. Smooth that round. So I think that's ready now for a light skim of filler. I'll just round that edge off there, and that's the rest of it. Okay, so all in all, I'm happy with that section there. Just wants a little bit of a skim over there, over there. These holes are where my main frame, my stainless steel frame, goes all the way around the front of the boat to stop you falling off. And I shall just re-drill those at a later date, so I'm not really bothered about that. I'll obviously fill that one in that I missed before. But all in all, a little bit of a skim over there, over there. I've all this to do yet, but that's the general idea on what I'm going to do. So I'll carry on. Today's job is something that I've been staring at ever since I got the boat, and I was umming and ahhing whether I should do anything about it. And it's this. This is a rubber moulding or a stair moulding or something that you would use in the flooring industry. And because I know it's flooring, that's what I used to be in. I thought, what's it hiding? So I decided, when I removed the old teak runners from the side of the boat here, I invested in some new, and it made this stand out like it just doesn't look right with the boat. So I've made the decision on removing this. So basically what I'm doing today is, this is the last piece to be removed. It has been screwed down with stainless steel screws, and it's been also glued. The glue is the problem bit. So that is the last piece. So basically what we've got left now is we've got glue that's on the surface. Now I can't use my sander on it because it just clogs it up. So I've decided to invest in some heavy duty gloves. What I'm going to do to get rid of the glue is use some terps and some trusty wire wool, coarse, and I'm going to just basically go over the glue area, soak it through first, let it soak in. Hopefully that's going to melt it, and then come back to this bit and basically get rid of it. So once that's gone, it seems to be working actually quite nicely. So once I've got rid of that, we'll have the next stage, which is where I will dry it off. We'll end up with clean wood, which is then sanded. Are you going to count me in?
Yeah.
Count me in. So, hopefully, once I've got the wire wool over there sorted, we're going to end up with some nice, clean wood. That's going to be ideal to sand down, and the reason why I know it's going to be good is because I've already done the back section, and it shows you how good it's turned out. And to be honest, I think with a few teak plugs in various places, such as here you can see some screws where you've obviously fixed a bit and what have you. Once I take those out and then create an area where I can put a hardwood teak dowel in there, it will look brilliant once it's been all stained up and varnished. So I'll take you around the back of the boat and we'll have a look at what it looks like completely bare. And as you can see now, this is virtually the finished article. There's the odd little bruise there I can see, but ultimately that's the sort of, by the time it's been sanded, you can see how well that's turned out. And with the exception of rotted away little grommets, bungs, which I will replace. I mean, some of these screws are completely shot at, so I might have to, I will be replacing those. I'll replace those bungs there. There's 1, 2, 3 bungs there. So I think taking off that rubber straight has been a great idea, because with the colour that we're going to paint the boat, it's going to look really nice. So I'm really pleased that we've taken it off, and with that nicely varnished, I think it's going to look really good. So there we have it. That is episode number 1 complete. I'm absolutely thrilled the way it's been going. I've got to thank John for doing quite a lot of cock-ups. But he has promised me that he's going to pull his finger out and get it done more professionally. So this first episode that you've been seeing, he has edited a little bit here and a little bit there, but we decided that as we progress, the bloopers and things, me making mistakes and John making mistakes, we're just going to leave them in there because I think it'll just show you that it's two people having a good time restoring a boat, or one doing the dirty work and one doing the clean work. Jonathan.
Every spitting cough.
Every spitting cough, yeah, exactly. So it leaves me to say thank you if you've watched all the way through. I don't know, it's about 20 minutes or whatever. If you watch through, please have a look at the rest of what we're going to do, because you may not have a Nauticus 27, but as I've found, there he is, Mr. Smiley, full head of hair. As I have found, thank you. All right. I'm in the limelight. You're not in it.
Okay,
You're behind the camera.
Back to camera.
You see, I've lost myself now. This is a blooper that's occurring. So as I'm trying to say, I forgot what I was going to say. What was I saying, John? Please tell me.
Goodbye.
No, yeah, I know I was going to say goodbye. But what I was going to say something. Yeah, I was going to say about the next episode, but I've forgotten what I was going to say, and it was so good as well.
Yeah, but you had hair for a couple of minutes then.
Shut up.
You haven't for a long time.
Shut up. What I was going to say was that I'm so happy and so enthusiastic about doing this. I know what it was. You may look at this first episode and you as I did, I looked at loads and loads of episodes about how to do a boat and what have you, and it'll be just little clippets that you go, oh, that's what I want to do. Like the bulkhead. There's a guy in Canada, I think he is, such a nice guy, and he's doing exactly what I wanted to do. And it's little bits like that I'm now watching him just doing that bit because it suits me to watch it, because that's what I want to do. And it'll be that will be the case for you. So please, there's a lot of boat to be restored. There's bound to be a lot of pointers that you will think, oh yeah, I need to do that, or I need to do that. I'm not saying I'm doing it right.
They need to let us know that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying I'm doing it right. I'm just doing something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I'm thrilled for doing it. And thank you once again for watching. Please watch us again. Bye for now.
Bye bye.